Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Quests and Cannons, The Risen Islands. Quests and Cannons, The Risen Islands is a game from Short Hop Games. It plays 1 to 6 players and 20 minutes per player, which seems about right. So depending on the number of players, the longer the game goes, which makes sense for most games. And what you're doing in this is you're taking on the role of, I guess, a different pirate or faction, and you're trying to explore these Risen Islands to collect goods, maybe fight off some krakens in the sea, to try to complete quests to be the most prosperous adventurer or pirate, whatever we want to call them. And the way you're doing that is by getting quest cards, collecting goods from the islands, attacking your opponents, and then going to certain locations to deliver the goods, or maybe traversing a part of the sea that you have to traverse to get some points. That's about it. It's a little deeper than that, but it's still a family weight game, but that's kind of what you're doing. So let's go down to the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Quests and Cannons, The Risen Islands, all set up for 2 players. So I'll try to go over setup kind of quickly. This board is modular here, so the outside is going to look the same all the time. But in a less than, I think, 6-player game, you're going to block out some of the island area. So this side of the board is completely useless. These 3 spaces have been blocked out. And in a 2-player game, there's only 1 trading post instead of 3. And on every island, you're going to put a random good that's going to be available at that island when you explore it. And when you go there, you're going to flip it, do the thing. We'll go over that. Each player is going to get a ship board, which will start out with a certain amount of open cargo spaces, certain amount of cannons, certain amount of sails, 3 coins, 5 ammo dice, and everyone's going to get a special player power. So in this case, I have Valkyr Thunderfoot. They have Dwani luck. Once on your turn, you may discard a loot card from your hand to change a die to a 6. And it also has Mother's Wisdom. You may have an additional quest card in your hand. So in this game, there is a hand limit of 3 cards for each type. So there's 3 loot, 3 map clues, 3 quests. So this one will let me have 4 quests. And that player has their stuff. I'm not going to go into theirs too much, but they have a little bit different startup and a different player power. Now, the way the game works is you're going to have action points to spend to try to be the first player to get to 15 points. And the way you're going to be doing that is by completing quests, winning some battles against your opponents, finding map clues. We each all start out with 1 map clue. So mine is, while at Blossom Scary, spend 1 to complete this map clue. So in a 2-player game, some of these islands may not be available. This one is, but some of the map clues may not be available because they could be on the islands that are flipped over. So in that case, you just have to burn it when you get a chance to burn it, but that's the way that works. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with my actions. So the actions are move, which would let me move my boat. 1 action point is moving 1 space, but you can flip any sails that you have for an additional movement, 1 movement in that. So if you had 3 sails, you could spend 1 action point to move 4 spaces. These are, what are these spaces called? Stormy Seas. They take 2 to get across. So if I go here, I'd have to spend 2 more action points or an action point and a sail to go down to that one. And then the Treacherous Sea is the place with a little kraken. If you go there, you have to roll your travel die. On a 1, 2, or 3, you take damage on your hull. 5 damage to cover up all your hearts. Your ship sinks. On a 4, 5, and 6, you will get to move to a free adjacent space. And also, if you fail, you're going to get a bonus on your next roll. If you fail again, you'll get a +2 bonus. So there is some benefit to losing. You can gather. So if I get to an island where the little good space has been flipped over, whatever that good is, I could go there and take as many as I want to put into my hull. You can take 1, 2, 3, whatever. You just have to have room in your hull for it. And then the last thing you can do is you can attack. So if you're in a space with someone else, the person whose turn it is can spend an action point and shoot. Now, the way the attacking works is you have to spin cannons. So at this point, I can only shoot once. I have 1 cannon. I would take my cannon, I would flip it to the fired side, and I would get to roll 1 die. It's 1 die, 1 bullet, 1 cannonball per cannon. I'd roll it. If I get 4 or higher, the other player would take a hit. They would mark a hull damage, and I would get a point. But the bullet, the cannonball, is gone. So you're losing a die. And cannons reset at the end of every round. Everything on your board except for cannonballs, will reset at the end of the round. So there is, just kind of flipping it so you can keep track. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So on my turn, I want to explore some islands. Let's go ahead and spend 1 action point. We'll go to Birdie Cove. When you go to an island, if you're the first person there, meaning it's on the question mark, you get a coin. So I'll take a coin and put it on my board. Then I'll flip this. Canvas. So now there's canvas available at this location. Also, when you end an action, meaning when your action that you're doing, no matter how many you're moving, is done and you're on an island, you get a quest card. So I'll get a quest card. So my quest card is, I need some lumber and some spice to deliver to Scrollbound, I can't read these, Scrollbound Librarium or Boulder Point Stronghold. If I do that, I get some points, some loot, and some coins. So let's try to get some spice. So that's 1 action. We'll go another action to here. And I'll use my sail because I'm moving 2. Flip this over. It is metal. I also get a coin because I was the first person there to discover it. And I'll get a quest card. This quest is Lumber and Gems to Windshear Retreat. Okay. And then for my 3rd action, let's just go ahead and pick up a metal. I'm going to get a metal. All right, so that's my 3rd action. And I'm done. So at the end of my turn, everything that I use can reset so I can be ready to go in the next turn. So now it's this player's turn. Where do they need to go? They need to go to Staghorn Reef, which is, I thought it was on here somewhere. Maybe not. Looks like Staghorn Reef is not available on this one. So this card is worthless for them. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead. They'll move 1 action. They'll move to this place right here. Because they're the first person to get there. I can't stand my boat up. Because they're the first person to go there, they get a coin. They have lumber. They'll also get a quest. They need lumber, so they need metal and lumber to go to Boulder Point Stronghold, which is here. So they need lumber. So they're going to go ahead for their 2nd action. They will grab a lumber. And then for their 3rd action, they're going to spend an action point to complete their map clue. So while at Staghorn Reef, spend 1 action point to complete the clue. So they did it. They spent the point. They get 1 point, 1 prosperity. This will be face up. They've completed it, so I'm going to put it right there so we know we completed it. And then they're going to draw another map clue. So now they're looking for Lotus Gulf. Is Lotus Gulf out here? Lotus Gulf does not appear to be out here. So that card is not good for them, so they can just burn it whenever they need to. All right. So that's their 3 actions, and that is their turn. Then it's back to me. Let's see. I need gems, so let's keep exploring. So one action, I'm going to move 2 and use my sails. I'll flip this. That is lumber, so I get a coin because I was the first person to go there. And then, do I need lumber? I do need lumber, so I'll take 1 lumber for my 2nd action. So 2nd action is 1 lumber, and for my 3rd action, I'm going to go ahead and move this way. Do I want to go to the outpost? Let's see. Yeah, let's actually go to the outpost. I'm going to go to the outpost. So when you're at an outpost, you have a couple options. You can build another sail, you can build a cannon, or you can upgrade your cargo ship. I want to upgrade my cargo ship, so I'm going to spend lumber and 3 coins. And what happens now is I get to remove another one of my cargo holds, and I can now carry more goods. So that's the perk of doing that. And you can do as many things as you want here. It doesn't take any actions, but that's all I want to do right now at the outpost. So I'm done. So then it will be the next player's turn. And I'm actually I want to show you a battle because I've kind of shown you everything else. So let's say this player goes here. So when you go here, they'll take an action and they'll move 1. So they go there. Then they got to roll. They got a 5, so they get a free movement over. Okay. Then for their next action, they're going to go ahead and move 1. Let's say I was here. They're going to go ahead and move 1. Now for the 3rd action, they're going to fight me. So when you fight, you're going to flip a cannon, and you get to roll 1 die per cannon that you flip. So in this case, I roll 1. So they're going to roll. They did not hit. What's their special power do? You may discard 1 loot from your hand. Move up to 2 spaces. Once per, you may roll a sail. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay. So I can't hit. If I would have rolled a 4 or higher, they would have hit me and they would have gotten a point, but they didn't. But their die gets used up, and that's the end of their turn. So that goes back away. or that flips, everything else is reset. And that's kind of how the game's going to work. So you're going to keep going around the board. You're going to fulfill quests. You're going to fulfill map clues. You may get some loot, which let me show you what loot looks like. Loot has a couple different types. There's red, which is a one-time use. You use it and you burn it. So it'll give you the ability. So use anytime, re-roll any die. Or there's blue that you have to equip to your ship, which are what these 2 ship slots are for. So rival cannot rival cannon rolls each have -1 hit to your ship. So, yeah, I would have that ability as long as this is equipped on my boat. And that's kind of how that works. I can unequip it whenever I want. I can discard it if I get more than 3, whatever. If I sink, meaning if your hull goes down to no hearts, you have to discard all of your completed map clues. I believe all your loot in your hand. There's some stuff in the rule book. I haven't ever sunk, so I haven't looked at that. But there is some rules in case you do happen to sink. So just don't sink. That's the moral of the story. You can always repair your hull at the outpost for 3 coins per hull damage. So you can just go there, spend a bunch of money, and refill your hull. You can buy ammo, so 1 coin gets you more dice. You can hold up to 9 dice here. And you can sell stuff for coins if you want to, based on what's on the back of these cards. There's also trading posts. If you're at a trading post, there's one in a 2-player game. You can trade any 2 goods for 1 of whatever. Not gems and spices, so it's always lumber, canvas, and metal. So you can trade any of those 2 for any other one, or you can spend gems and 3 coins to get a loot, spice and 3 coins to get a map clue, or you can sell just like you would any goods for coins. And that's how you play. First person to 15, 20, or 25, depending on the length of the game you want to play, is the winner. If there's a tie, it's whoever has the most coins, because there will be a mass of coins that you're going to be getting throughout this game. So yeah, that's it. So let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Quests and Cannons, The Risen Islands. So this is a really interesting little game. It has a really thick rule book, which kind of intimidated me a little bit. But really, when you're getting through it, the text is real big, and the actions are pretty simple on what you're going to do. You have 3 actions. You're going to move, you're going to collect resources, or you're going to attack somebody. When you move, if there's an unexplored island, you explore it, get a coin, get a quest. If you end your turn on an island, or your action on an island, you get a quest. If you get to a place where you need to be with certain goods that you need, you complete a quest. You're trying to repair your ship, you're trying to attack your opponents, you're trying to find specific locations on the board for map clues so you can get prosperity. It's just a race to be the most efficient at getting what you need to get. That's it. So everything you saw in the video was prototype components, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm not going to go over the components that much except for one thing. So this part right here, this player board, is the best player board that I've ever seen in my entire life. If this is a prototype, this is the gold standard of what people should be doing. And this is a prototype. It has dual layers for everything. It has spaces, everything laid out, action tracker, where your cannons go. It has spaces to hold your dice, cargo holds, all dual layer, place for your sails. Your ability, which is really cool, slides into here like this, and just everything fits excellently in this. I love this player board. It's one of the best player boards that I've ever seen in my entire life. And this right here alone makes playing the game a little bit better, because the player board is easy to use and keeps track of everything for you and does a great job. So yeah, I like that. The cards, I'm not going to go into it too much, but the cards basically say you got some story if you care about that, and it's got what good you need, where you need to take them, and then what you get. Or not always good. Sometimes it's, fight a kraken and have a successful roll, whatever. There is that. The map clues are all there. One issue that I had when I was setting up for a 2-player game, you're putting the question mark, these little goods pieces down on all the islands. So in a 2-player game, you're cutting off some of the islands. The rule book, at least not that I found, doesn't say how to set up the islands, set up those question marks, because if you do it randomly, there could be some goods that aren't even out on the board, which could really break the game and make it impossible to do some of this stuff. So what I did was I took 2 of every good, and then for the other 2 islands, so that would be 10. So the other 2 islands, I just grabbed 2 of the other random goods in there. So there's going to be 2 goods that have 3, and there will be 3 goods that have 2. I think that math adds up, but whatever. There's 5 instances of 2, and 2 of them are going to have 3. So that way you're guaranteed that all of the pieces that you need to have for your quest are on the board. It doesn't say that in the rule book. I'm not sure if it's going to be added later, but that is how I feel it should work. That's what other games kind of do. and you want to make sure you have stuff out there. So if I got a quest that needed spice and there wasn't any spice, I could never complete this quest, and I just wasted, I'm wasting my time. And I may not even know that because all the islands haven't been explored, so I won't even know that I'm wasting my time. So, small complaint. The rulebook's great other than that, but the way the 2-player setup works is a little bit for me, but that's fine. So I enjoy this game. It's a family weight game, 100%. You could play this with kids, 10 or so, as long as they can read and understand how it all kind of works and all that type of thing. Yeah, I like it. I like the modular board. It would be nice if the board, there was just a generic layout all the time. So like when I just put the board down, I could always play that map if I wanted to, and then have some tiles to go on top of it to change it up if I wanted to. That's something I like because I don't always like setting up the board every time because it's kind of a pain in the neck in this. I just don't like it, but that's just my opinion. Other people are probably fine with it. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.5 out of 5 on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Quests and Cannons, the Risen Islands from Short Hop Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.